When dozens of hard-working Aussies like Nick invested with finance guru Alev Dover, they were excited by the early bumper returns. But then, radio silence. Little did they know they were being dragged into a sensational plot involving a prince, spies and pallets of money being sent overseas.
Hey Max, Steve Marshall, Current Affair.
Hello mate.
Hoping to talk to you about Alev Dover.
Oh, that's a long conversation.
Yeah, how long you got? I've got all day.
Alev Dover, cover girl or ducking for cover? This trailblazing businesswoman is accused of leaving a trail of destruction.
What she did was horrible, horrible. And for you to come here and say she's linked to me, where did you hear that information?
Alev Dover, could this Aussie mum be the matriarch of one of Australia's most elaborate investment scams we've ever seen?
The 53-year-old mum is accused of fleecing $90 million from investors in a web of deception in a brazen Ponzi scheme that defies belief.
This is 3.5 times higher than Melissa Caddick, and you think she had a TV series.
More like a sensational Hollywood blockbuster, an outlandish plot involving Middle Eastern royalty, US spies, and uranium pallets laden with millions of US dollars transported across international borders.
I work with the IRAB, which is the International Asset Recovery Board, the CIA, the Federal Reserve, and Treasury.
It just seems so unbelievable.
I mean, it's ludicrous.
Fact or fiction? Who knows? But here's the harsh reality. It might look to be just dollars on a page, but this saga's had a devastating impact on people's lives. Homes repossessed, livelihoods lost, and in some cases, the stress has been deadly.
A lot of people are suffering and they have been kicked out of their houses and they are struggling for their day-to-day supplies. You know, they don't have money. Take a big breath.
From doctors to truckies, dozens of Aussie investors believe Alev Dover has done them over.
It's a really hard situation for us. She left us broke.
From inner West Sydney public school girl to powerhouse finance broker, Alev Dover's CV is adorned with heavyweight roles. Her last gig, CEO of Australian equity firm Prism Global, where her tenure sensationally imploded.
We terminated her as the CEO, and that was under the grounds of misappropriation of funds.
Prism director Chris Ireland became suspicious when Dover invited unfamiliar faces into the Prism office.
This is where I think the story gets into a bigger rabbit hole. This is one of these people that suggested they were part of the CIA and they were above the tax system.
People like this man, Mohammed al-Qari, a Libyan government advisor during the fall of Colonel Gaddafi.
Can we now actually confirm that Mr. Gaddafi has been killed?
Sure, 100%. Yeah.
100% he's been killed.
I think I realised that there was deceit before I could figure out what it was. You get a sense for when someone's lying to you.
Then a Qatari prince swung by.
We had meetings with them and I went back and looked up online, couldn't find any information. So, who was this person? Was this an actor?
A prince.
Dover travelled to England to list Prism on the London Stock Exchange. She racked up a 300 grand rental bill for this penthouse overlooking the Thames River and organised a lease for this brand new Range Rover. Chris Ireland now suspects Dover was using her role at Prism to help raise funds for her own companies under the Atura Group.
We realised that there was a whole lot of business activity that she was operating on behalf of Atura and not on behalf of Prism.
It now appears Alev Dover was busy soliciting millions of dollars from trusting Aussies to invest in a wide range of schemes.
We never thought of anything like it could be scam, and everything looked perfect. She even had a website to herself.
Western Sydney trucking brothers, Mohammed and Hassan, bought into the Dover razzle-dazzle. They believed they were investing in international infrastructure projects through the celebrated finance guru. After they received handsome returns early on, the brothers went all in with Alev.
We sold our business and houses. In total, we invested over $1 million.
The Muslim family received this Sharia compliance certificate in return. They contacted the Mufti on the paperwork.
He got back to me straight away, said she's got nothing to do with Alev and he doesn't know her.
Cardiologist Dr. Athula Gunasekara claims Dover owes him $354,000. Now he's the one having heart palpitations.
And how long have you been waiting for your return?
2 years.
2 years. Do you think you'll ever see it?
I don't think so at this rate because I have no communication.
How could $90 million just disappear? Many people invested their self-managed super or took loans out against their homes to invest with Dover.
She gave us the return that she had promised us. We thought, well, that's good and all that, but that was the bait.
Nick's too embarrassed to show his face. He encouraged his extended family to trust Alev with a whopping $3 million via a loan against their property. When the 20% returns on their investment stopped, Dover's excuses started.
The last one I heard was, oh, there's an earthquake here in Turkey, I can't transfer money, everything is closed and all that.
Istanbul, a current affair can reveal, this is where Alev Dover is now operating under the name Alev Yard. Speaking in her family's Turkish dialect, Dover filmed this update for relatives, also investors.
İran hükümetinin bize 6 ay boşa sürmesi ve tamamlanmış bir kontrat. Josh da bu konuda...
Dover is flanked by a man called Josh. They reckon their plan to ship hundreds of millions of dollars loaded on pallets out of Iran is good to go.
So she can move the money anywhere that she needs to pay you guys back. With no issues, no problems, no holdups on the capital.
A current affair has obtained cash transportation agreements attributed to Dover. This one is worth $100 million to be delivered in 10 briefcases to Dover's Artura Investments Company. We've traced the deal to a small German agricultural company run by a Turkish businessman who also owns a carpet and rug shop in Switzerland.
So I just want to make sure you guys understand that she is working very, very hard. We're at the finish line, and if you have any questions, feel free to have her call her.
We called, texted and emailed Alev Dover, but have yet to speak.
Ja, aber das ist meine Nummer.
So this is not Alev Dover's? Nine.
All of the unreturned investments have raised serious questions.
Is Alev Dover just an unlucky businesswoman? Or is she the mastermind behind one of the most extraordinary Ponzi schemes in Australian corporate history? Dover, she's nowhere to be found, and her investors are demanding answers. Who's to blame here?
Well, that's what we're going to get to the bottom of. But I would say absolutely Alev Dover is to blame.
Sydney-based accountant Max Bardella was a business acquaintance of Alev Dover's.
Fantastic. I've never been to Turkey.
Dover was using Bardella's Australian Financial Services licence to raise funds from investors for her Artura company.
It's my Australian Financial Service licence. No one has used it but me.
ASIC documents show Dover was using the licence for 3 years. Bardella says he's also a victim and is now suing Dover.
Ken, why don't you ask why I've lost nearly $40 million investing with Alev Dover? Why don't you start there?
Let's start with that.
Let's start with that. Book a time and let's have a chat.
We booked an interview time with Max Bardella to drill down in more detail, but he was a no-show.
Max, I'm here for the interview at 11 o'clock. You're not.
Bardella and Dover share the same indignation of being punted from the board of global equity firm Prism by director Chris Ireland over a $4.5 million loan Dover authorised to Bardella, which he has partially paid back.
We brought the wrong people in, clearly, where the people were acting in their own self-interest.
At any stage, were you aware of what Dover was doing during her time at Prism?
No, it wasn't until we removed her from the board.
Yes, as far as that situation.
What happens with these entrepreneurs is they set up these dominoes, and when the dominoes start collapsing, they disappear without a trace.
Webster's lawyer's partner, Andrew Carpenter, is demanding authorities haul Dover back from Turkey for questioning.
The intangibles are the breakdown of relationships, breakdown of marriages, loss of trust. It's not just the bricks and mortar that people lose, it's they lose a sense of themselves and they lose their trust in almost every facet of life.
She's taken 15 years of hard work. She's taken away not just our money, she's taken away our kids' future.
And that is what's heartbreaking about this. Steve Marshall joins me now. Steve, you have been working on this for months now. You've reached out to Dover without success, but you have just heard from her.
Yeah, my one and only text message reply back from Alev Dover. She told me that I will be back in Sydney in 2 weeks and I would like to speak to you face to face to tell you my side of the story. Now, I responded to that text message by putting all those allegations you saw in the story there to Alev Dover. I gave her a deadline of this afternoon and I haven't heard back, Ali.
Surprise, surprise. Hey, look, are police looking into her? Because 90 million is not a small number.
No, indeed. New South Wales Police confirmed today that Alev Dover is indeed under investigation. It says the $90 million figure, well, it's actually more than that, which is a significant amount of alleged fraud. Now, also, police said, quote, the way Miss Dover was able to leave Sydney in such a hurry showed an organised crime level of escape from Australia. You know, heavy words there. Now, police expect our story to trigger more people to come forward and they would like to hear from those people.
So this has clearly been going on for some time. Where is the corporate watchdog? What has ASIC been doing?
Not a lot lately, yeah, unfortunately. But today, ASIC told me that it's continuing to monitor the situation, so perhaps some positive talk there. And the fact that, you know, the police are involved now means more than likely ASIC will sit back and see what unfolds. As for potential recourse for these investors, our story highlighted Alev Dover using the Australian Financial Services licence of somebody else. Now, the owner of that licence must have professional indemnity insurance under the Corporations Act. So, a slight chance that they may get some of their money back through that journey.
Look, I mean, I imagine if they do, that's going to take a long time. Let's hope they do. Just very quickly, do you think we're going to see Dover back in Australia anytime soon?
I hope so, I really do, but I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Steve. It was a great investigation.